Hello, my name is Kimberly Bizon. I'm running for U.S. Congress in Michigan's 10th Congressional District. I would like to thank the Jewish Community Relations Council for allowing me to make this video for you and to answer the 4 questions that you have. Given the steep rise in anti-Semitism and racism, what will you do during your term to combat such hate and encourage bridge building between people of different backgrounds? I have always believed that we are all Americans, regardless of the color of your skin, what religious beliefs you practice or have, or even the person that you choose to love. The divide in this nation has to stop. It just has to stop. It is our responsibility to protect and ensure human rights. I will combat this anti-Semitism and racism by working with government officials and my congressional colleagues in order to create educational programs geared around educating that include anti-Semitism. When we talk about human rights topics like when we focus on peace and democracy and also the acceptance of our differences. This is important, to bring a sense of community or a common humanity and in our community. This also could extend to marketing programs promoting common humanity by using different social media programs and platforms. As your Congresswoman, I vow to denounce any and all hate crimes. I will work with law enforcement, local government, and communities through educational programs with the goal of community sustainability and equitable development. Next question. The U.S.-Israel relationship has become increasingly partisan over the last years at many levels of government. Do you agree with this assessment, and how do you think this trend can be reversed? Great question. I agree. I feel that the support for Israel has been exploited by politicians, both here in the United States and in Jerusalem. There never was a partisan supported concern. In the past, we've supported Israel as patriotic Americans who support democracy, who understand the need for sovereignty and defend human rights. Can we get back to that? Can we get back to that in today's divided America? I hope so. I think that we need to vote in strong, bold leadership who are ready, like even pragmatic leaders who are ready to go ahead and be courageous and to work together and create positive change without party politics at play. And I think hopefully we'll see that in the November 2020 election. Thank you. Question number 3. Politicians and the public have understandably been focusing their attentions toward COVID-19 and the racial divides plaguing our country. Therefore, other issues such as the immigration crisis have been decreasingly in the public eye. How do we ensure during this difficult time immigrants to this country, especially those in prison at the southern border, are not forgotten? I hope that they're not forgotten, definitely. And I agree that the media really hasn't been focusing on the immigrational crisis at the border. I do know Homeland Security in March, and then it was revoted on in August, quickly takes persons seeking asylum and processes them and puts them back into the country without any due process, to file the proper application for asylum and to go through the process here in the United States. I feel that that's unconstitutional, unfortunately, but the current administration seems to be doing that. So the data has shown that in fact the numbers persons crossing the border have lowered, definitely. And I think as far as what we can do or how do we continue to have that conversation, I think we need to continue to fight against family separation, support additional funding to actually help with the process for those seeking asylum, and also to absolutely stop ICE in their un-American tactics. Those things have to come into the forefront. We need to find a way to get back to Obama's family case management program, which has a compassionate pathway for citizenship. I do know that the 116th Congress this year passed, during the COVID crisis, passed a Coronavirus Immigration Families Act, which would help at the border and help people seeking asylum, but this hasn't passed yet. So I hope that answers your question. Question number 4. What is your number 1 priority while you are in office? Well, as well as being an advocate for human rights, I'm also an environmentalist. I believe there are many crises on the rise right now, not only a racial divide and not only a pandemic crisis, but we also have a climate crisis. So when in office, I will always support the Green New Deal resolution. I will go ahead and work towards building green infrastructure that actually creates jobs. And that also we need to really work at lowering the CO2 levels here globally with our allies and get back to work on that. We have so many options, other options, and ultimately we need to provide health and the safety of our children, and we also need to provide them a future. So that is one of the top priorities that I will bring into Congress when elected in November. So again, thank you for these questions. If you need to reach out to me, you can reach me at KimberlyBizonforCongress.com. And again, I'd like to thank you for this opportunity today.